Here's my condenser out here. Okay, the condenser condenses the gas into a liquid. Have you guys ever heard of condensation? Seen it on your windows? It's a liquid, right? It's water running on your windows. Okay, that's what's going on here. Your condenser takes the gas and turns it into a liquid. From there, your liquid goes to your TX valve, the thermal expansion valve. Okay, and your thermal expansion valve controls the release of refrigerant into your evaporator. Cool. Evaporator. And then from the evaporator, the refrigerant will return back to the pump, okay, where it starts the cycle again. And your evaporator does exactly what it says. It evaporates. So you know, if you have a pool of water on the ground on a hot day, the water will evaporate and eventually there'll be no water left there on the ground anymore. Okay, it will evaporate into the atmosphere. Cool. So in this one here, you have a liquid, a gas turning into a liquid, or condensing into a liquid, and in this one here, you have a liquid turning into a gas, evaporating into a gas. Okay, and it's that change of state that either absorbs energy or releases energy. Okay, so basically the system works a little bit like this. This is really simplified down, but it's a nice little understanding. Let's pretend that today was a really hot Wellington day like it normally is, and it was 25 degrees. 25 degrees C, okay? So that's our ambient temperature.
In what world is it fucking 25 in Wellington?
In Wellington, mate, it's always 25 degrees. Depends on what scale. The purpose of an air conditioning system is to get our evaporator down to 0 degrees. Okay, because it's nice and cold at 0 degrees, or as close to 0 degrees as possible. We don't want to get less than 0 degrees though, because it starts icing up and then it becomes useless. So 0 degrees is our target. Here's a question for you, and it's not a trick question. If I have 25 degrees and I want to get down to 0 degrees, how many degrees do I need to lose?
25.
25. I can't lose 25 degrees. All I can do is move the 25 degrees somewhere else. So to balance the system off, we move the extra 25 degrees over to the condenser, and the condenser runs at 50 degrees. Okay, because the condenser will be your ambient temperature plus the 25 we got rid of to get to 0 degrees. Okay, so that goes over here, our condenser runs at 50 degrees. That works really fine because now that heat energy that we've moved across to the condenser can push it out into the atmosphere. Because the atmosphere is at a lower temperature, it can get rid of that energy. Okay, so it's just a balancing act, that's all that's going on here. It's done using refrigerant. So just to give you another quick example, if our ambient temperature was 20 degrees, to get to 0 degrees, we'd have to lose 20 degrees of energy.
40 degrees.
Yeah, so our condenser would run at 40 degrees. So basically your condenser runs at twice the ambient temperature in a good air conditioning system. This is a real simplified way of understanding it. There is a lot more going on behind the scenes here. If you come back and do year 2 electrical or heavy vehicle, you'll learn how to, and you will be actively taking refrigerant out and putting it back into vehicles. If you do light vehicle, then you're going to do that in year 3 with me.
So you said the condenser runs 2 times of what? The expansion?
The ambient temperature.
The ambient.
Yeah, ambient. Just as a rule of thumb. So with more modern systems, that's not actually true anymore. But with older systems, that was exactly what would happen. And that system that I just showed you, that's exactly what happened just there.
Or would have your aircon crapping out?
Yep, cool. So really good examples of why your aircon craps out. Okay, some people don't understand I say this cautiously because I don't want to upset anyone in the room, but some people don't understand that actually air conditioning doesn't just make your air cold. So some people don't use the air conditioning system during winter time because they go, oh, you don't turn your air conditioner on during winter, it's freezing. Air conditioning systems not only cool, they dry. So the fastest way to demist your windscreen on a car is actually turn the air conditioning on and turn the heat on. And what will happen is your cool, dry air will be heated up and it will become warm, dry air. Okay? So in all heater systems, the inlet, air inlet is here. The air comes in, it comes to a fan, which then blows the air through your evaporator. After the evaporator is a heater matrix where we run hot water through. The hot water comes from your engine. Okay, so there's your heater matrix. Okay, and then after that then, the air goes out to the different places. It either goes out to your windscreen, or it goes out to your face, or it goes out to your feet. And then there's a control flap that sits in here, and it will divert the air to whatever direction it needs to go to. Cool, my control flap probably doesn't look all the greatest actually, it probably doesn't look like that at all, it'll look a bit different, but you get the picture I'm sure. There's a control flap that sits here and it directs air up that way there, or it directs air down that way there, or directs air straight through that from there, depending on which way we're going. So, on a cold day, most people just turn the heater on, and the air that goes through gets hot out the other side. On a cold day, that's what most people do. But actually, a really good thing to do is turn on your air conditioning system as well as your heater, and the air coming out will be warm and dry. That will demist your windscreen really, really quickly.
Cliff, is it true that if you use your AC that your car doesn't go as fast?
Yes, because your air conditioning pump, that pump that's down the bottom there, can use up to 5 horsepower.
Oh.
So you, in some small cars, if you have a small car like an 1100cc car or a 1500cc car and you drive down the motorway at 100 kilometres an hour and then you turn the air conditioning on, you actually feel it kick in. And the car will slow down a little bit. And then the evaporator will get down to 0 degrees. The little temperature sensor will say turn that pump off, the pump will turn off and you actually feel your car boom, pick up again. And it's only going to be like 2 or 3 kilometres per hour, but it is happening. Okay, to maintain 100 kilometres an hour, you need to put your foot down a little bit more, therefore you start using more gas. So yes, definitely your air conditioning system will use easily 5 horsepower. On a real big system, on a real big car, something like a Land Rover Discovery or something like that, they will probably use up to 10 horsepower of their engine running the air conditioning system. It's a significant amount of gas. Back to your question, Lois, though, why does your air conditioning stop running? So some people don't use the air conditioning during winter. What happens then is in all those little pipes, there's rubber seals where the pipes join. The rubber seals dry out because there's no lubricant going past them. So they dry out, they shrink, and when they shrink, it slowly starts leaking refrigerant out. And then of course you don't use your refrigerant during winter time, your air conditioning system during winter time. So you come to summertime, hit go, your pump starts pumping it around, and in that little bit of time before your seals get all nice and lubricated again, there'll be refrigerant leaking out through the connections. So that's the biggest problem we have is people don't use their air conditioning systems during winter time. They dry out. When you go to use it in summertime, a little bit leaks out. You do that for a few years in a row, all of a sudden you've got no refrigerant in your system anymore because it's all leaked out. Okay, so yeah, that's sort of the biggest problem. The biggest reason why your air conditioning system won't work will be that. So there, guys, you should try and make sure you use your air conditioning system during winter time.
And that's using the AC and the heater.
Yeah, during winter time you'd want to use the AC and the heater. Yeah. So you just turn your heater controls on and hit the AC button on your car. It'll turn the aircon on.
I don't know if this relates to air conditioning, but do you know how when you're inside the car and you're breathing hot air and your screen gets foggy.
Yep.
But when you turn on the urban and hot air comes and the figure's clear, how does that?
That happens because the ear's dry and it just dries out the windscreen. Yeah. But otherwise, what happens is like you're breathing out hot, moist air, and it's hitting a cold window. So when the hot, moist air hits the cold window, the water condenses and turns into liquid on the window. It's the same thing that happens at your house. In your house, the outside of your house is really, really cold, so your windows are cold. The inside of your house, you turn the heaters on, and everything becomes warm. But when that warm air hits the cold window, it condenses the liquid that was in that warm air and turns into condensation on your windows. Yeah. Sweet?
Yeah. So
Cool.
you just need that gauge set check with your forecast.
Yep. Yeah, you just need that gauge set that I just need. It's called a manifold set, so you use a manifold set, plug the manifold set up to your car, and then check the pressures, and then there is some charts. I don't know if I've got a chart here at the moment, but there's some charts that you get, and you just look at your chart, and you can determine whether your system's full or it needs to be refilled.
So would you need to replace those rubber seals or just use them?
You just got to,
Leaks.
yeah, if it starts leaking, then yeah, it's a good idea to go through and replace your rubber seals and get that all back to where it should be. Lubricate your rubber seals before you put them in, put it all together again, and you're away. Yep. Cool. Okay, so that's kind of how an air conditioning system works. This assignment that you guys are going to do though is more about working safely around air conditioning systems and understanding what you legally are and aren't allowed to do. There's a hell of a lot of writing in this next part, so like people like Jacob and Mark, you guys might want to turn around so that you're facing the board, so you guys might want to grab seats over here or over here, so you're actually looking at the board, otherwise you're going to be turning your head a lot and you're going to get a sore neck. And I don't want you having days off because you're
Wow, I need some refreshing.